In every country, the Red Cross and Red Crescent national societies work towards building the resilience and long-term capacities of communities, so the communities themselves can better manage their lives, reduce the risks they face, and improve their long-term health, well-being, and livelihoods. Working towards achieving and maintaining this role and capacity is what we call national society development. The journey of developing national societies is not a linear one, nor a fast track. But it is evident that a clear long-term development plan, accompanied with capacity building, will eventually strengthen the national society to achieve its role to serve for the communities. Here is a story from the Ukraine Red Cross Society.
Понад 100 років роботи і плідної діяльності Товариства Червоного Хреста України показали ефективність роботи організації, і разом з тим в нових умовах вони вимагають зміни структурної побудови організації і зміни її діяльності для того, щоб можна було в цих нових умовах використати максимально добро людей, доброчинність людей і діяльність гуманітарної організації, така як є Червоний Хрест.
During the last 4 decades, URCS was focused predominantly on medical and social activities, delivering visiting nurses programs through a wide network of branches all over Ukraine. Occasionally, we reacted to natural disasters or man-made disasters, but overall capacity to handle crisis results and provide relief was generally not high. The situation changed dramatically over the past 6 years with two big shocks for the national society: outburst of armed conflict in the eastern Ukraine in 2014 and full closure of state finance program on which URCS and all its branches were fully dependent. That happened at the beginning of 2017. There is two external factors trigged the URCS development journey when the national society had to reinvent itself completely, its activities, its organizational structure at all levels, to respond to armed conflict on the one hand and to find stability and sustainability for its branches on the other hand.
So usually what national society change process means is looking at the systems, looking at the structures, looking at the structures which will enable national society for the better service delivery. That includes having a certain type of strategic documents like transitional strategy which national society has at the moment, as well as looking at the different areas of development which is usually human resources, the finances, youth and volunteer, as well as the branch development. So these are main areas where national society should embark on the change, and this is what Ukrainian Red Cross did, and which is much appreciated by the partners.
So there was a need to develop not only one area or one department or one service in the national society, because all these services and areas are interlinked. So if you have weak HR, you will not be able to work in emergency response. If you don't have a volunteer base, you will not be able to again respond to the needs of the beneficiaries. So there was a big need to run in parallel a huge affirmation of the whole system of the national society. And this is how the national society reacted by coming to the partners and asking for their support, because they realized that on their own they will not be able to do it. So the leadership was extremely committed. The leadership was ready to undertake huge reforms, even if some of them were painful.
Following the commitment by the leadership of the National Society on Change process, a concept paper on organizational development and capacity building was developed and endorsed by the Ukraine Red Cross in 2017, followed by adopting a new transitional strategy.
Nowadays, we had to start and to be developed more in our strategically priority areas of the activities. We thought how to be developed, but from the other hand, we could not postpone our assistance vulnerable people. They need our support right now. That is why the main objectives are to be developed through response to the emergencies, armed conflict, assisting in health and psychological challenges. How to achieve it? The extremely important responsibility is on strong communication and effective coordination. And at the same time, the commitment is in place to work on designing the strong, reliable, and transparent Red Cross. That is exactly NSD.
As some of the key messages highlight, a national society-wide commitment on change process, looking at the organisation as a whole, a roadmap that allows coordinating stakeholders' interest and finding every opportunity to develop the organisation, even through the ongoing operations, enabled the Ukraine Red Cross to move ahead with its NSD journey. The branches and volunteers are the service arms of the organisation in the community that respond directly to the needs of the most vulnerable. It is important that branches continually assess and develop their capacity to be able to rise above the humanitarian challenges of saving lives and preventing human suffering. Strong branches are the key to a strong and relevant national society. Here are some sample approaches the Ukraine Red Cross is undertaking to strengthen its branches.
For this gradual mind shift and to launch transformation regionally, we created a national approach to branch development and volunteer management through BRAVO program, a comprehensive toolkit to be used in any branch in Ukraine, ensuring uniformity. The entry point to branch development is BOCA, which is accepted as key tool institutionally.
BOCA is a self-assessment tool developed for branches of Red Cross and Red Crescent national societies to identify and assess their strengths, limitations, and challenges in relation to a wide range of organizational capacities. It can be used as the first step in a branch development process, since it is focusing on basic capacities, structures, and conditions that are widely understood as being the core of what a branch needs to be able to function and perform well.
However, BOCA is not enough, as this is only the entry point into change process, and we as a headquarter should give much more to the branches so that they have capacity to perform. The second tool is interregional manager systems, a field-based regional advisors supporting local branches in their core activities and building a liaison with headquarters to bringing expert support. Thirdly, we offer a new branch model and branch minimum standards as the growth benchmark for branches for the upcoming years. Then there is a whole volunteer management system with volunteer and youth policies, strong documentary base, manual database profiles, and volunteer working bodies. The mobile training teams, the fifth component, is our know-how to ensure professional development and knowledge delivery locally, where branches haven't had trainings for several decades. We prepared 15 in-house trainers, making 3 mobile teams consisting of headquarter and local branch staff. This solution targets big size of the country, applied knowledge delivery from finance to DM and other things, and setting one branch activity standard. This is backed by the last solution, Local Branch Handbook, a daily reference book or manual in a way, giving from A to Z all the information how to run a branch in an efficient way.
There would be nothing without BRAVO. There would be no disaster management, no home-based care, because BRAVO develops the local branch. Without these branches, without people who are really working directly with beneficiaries, we will not be able to build an effective system in management disaster, in rendering first aid, home-based care system, or any other systems. No service shall be successful without a strong branch. Only a strong local branch will make a strong national society.
Strong branch is only strong having the strong trained volunteers. The priority task was from the very beginning to educate the branches how to engage volunteers, how to work with volunteers, how to motivate them to stay with Red Cross.
За последние буквально 2-3 года очень сильно вообще изменилось отношение и к волонтерам, и к волонтерскому движению. Национальное общество и городские районные организации стали больше прислушиваться к волонтерам, к их инициативам, к их идеям. И очень многие идеи, которые высказываются нашими волонтерами, они находят свое отражение в жизни, в реальной, и это, естественно, сказывается на предоставляем им помощь нашим бенефициарам.
We do believe that the young people have a role to play, both as volunteers to run some of the activities, but also to be part of the decision-making process in the branches. And this is very important. And there is a third role that is key, is that the young people as beneficiaries have also a specific role as a target group, but also as being part of the community who can bring their own solution. And they can, of course, also become volunteers. So this overall youth engagement is crucial for the development of the national society.
To be strong, we need to involve volunteers in decision-making processes, but not only when we need help, because their role is no less important than the role of the employees or the head of the organization. Recognition, trainings and development of their personal skills contribute to the process.
We created volunteer induction course, then we created the visible way of volunteer development, then volunteer profiles and the volunteer policy. Every year we hold a National Volunteer Assembly. Now, as the next step, we are working on youth engagement strategy.
Whether called Red Cross Red Crescent, youth members or young volunteers, many branches have learnt that giving young people the space to organise themselves and sharing opportunities to nurture their leadership skills is the best investment a branch can make. Each national society runs different activities. Such include services based on the National Society's mandate, some may have time-bound projects, and there are initiatives to develop its own organisation. Each national society has structures and functions to deliver these activities, and there are cost implications. And therefore, each national society has to define its own formula to cover this cost through resource mobilisation. To attract and manage diverse resources, the National Society needs to record, manage them accountably, and analyse the information to manage risk. This balance will determine the financial sustainability of each national society.
Building the financial sustainability of Red Cross in Ukraine is the most crucial priority. There are many external factors which influence on the development, and one of the main questions is how to provide the financial sustainability and sustainable income for provision of the implementation of the core activities in URCS.
Any change, any development, whatever level we are talking about, it should be accompanied by the resources. And the resource mobilization is one of the key components there. Without resources, there will be no service delivery. Without resources, there will be no real and tangible development long term.
The support and reformation process of the Ukraine Red Cross was ensured with Red Cross movement partners, IFRC, ICRC, Danish Red Cross, and other present in the country partner national societies that were coordinated by the Ukraine Red Cross as a host national society through the Strengthening Movement Coordination and Cooperation process, which has been successfully progressing in the Ukraine since the beginning of 2017.
I'm happy to say that here in Ukraine, the movement is collaborating very well, and because of this close coordination and cooperation that we have in Ukraine, we have been successful.
The modality of the partnership we developed was to have a daily based exchange with the National Society and really try to adapt both our support, but then also the modality of work with the National Society. And one of the position of the Danish Red Cross in Ukraine is that each of us as a movement partner have a role to play. And the Danish Red Cross has always tried to adapt to the different movement components, and that at the end it can support the development of the national society. As partner, we need to be flexible, we need to adapt on the needs, on the capacities, again of the national society, but also of the other partners, and this is a teamwork.
Resources to support the start-up of NSD initiatives also encourage national societies to enhance their development plan. such as National Society Investment Alliance, a pooled funding mechanism providing flexible multi-year financing. Building on the strong movement collaboration and with clear plans, the Ukraine Red Cross was selected to receive funds from NSIA to boost its domestic fundraising capacity over a 3-year period.
There are many challenges on our road, and we take each of these challenges one by one, and we try to solve them jointly with the movement partners. In Ukrainian context, there is no single movement partner who is working on its own without respecting the National Society's vision, approach, and strategy. And this is the formula which brings success.
The National Society Development Compact highlights the importance for the National Society to have a clear picture of its capacity and to identify the priority areas for its development, as demonstrated in the Ukraine. Support to the National Society should also follow these needs and strategic priorities that have been identified by the National Society. To be effective, the competences and quality of the skills on the offer side should match the needs of the National Society. Lastly, applying lessons learned is key to foster collective improvement and foster innovation among the network of Red Cross, Red Crescent national societies. The NSD Compact therefore sets out roles for national societies, their partners, the IFRC Secretariat, and external partners when engaging with NSD.
The final strategic objective of a well-functioning national society is that the national society is able to respond to the needs of the beneficiaries and to deliver services.
But having this strong commitment to collaboration and development, we are sure we shall succeed.
Bravo to all of us! I am happy to be the part of this team that is now making a huge leap towards effective, sustainable and flourishing national society.
National society development is not a goal in itself. The primary impact of national society development can be measured through the services that it offers, nor does it have an end point. It is a moving goal. There is always scope for national societies to improve service in the areas of relevance, quality, reach, and sustainability.